There's a few myths that I want you to be aware of before you go out and buy your first weapon or your next gun. So myth number one is buying the smaller gun is easier to shoot. This is so common, and especially if you're a woman and you go to the guy at the gun store behind the counter and say, which gun should I get? I'm kind of nervous. I don't know which one I want. He's always just going to recommend that you buy this small little compact gun, and it's actually a lot harder to shoot those guns. Now, on the contrary, when you do get to the point where you're confident enough to conceal carry, then you are most likely going to be carrying a compact weapon. And yes, you do want to train on that gun if that's the one you're carrying with. So I'm not against that. It's not that the size is bad. It's just that it depends on your level of training and where you are at right now in that process. What I mean is, the bigger, larger, more full-size or mid-size weapons like a Glock 19 or a SIG P320 is going to give you a really good solid grip. It's going to, it's just a lot easier to shoot on a full-size gun because of that recoil, that it can handle that level of recoil. Now, as you transition and as you get confident, technique is all that matters. Without proper technique of how to actually, grip that firearm, have a good stance, and I will link a video to proper grip and stance here, anything else is out the window. If you don't have proper technique, nothing else really matters. So technique always wins, but having a full-size weapon is actually going to be easier when you are learning in the beginning of your process. Myth number two is that what your friend has, because he thinks it's a great gun, or your friend that carries and she thinks it's awesome because it fits perfectly on her, is right for you. No, this is not a one size fits all. Everybody has different hands, different eyes, different purposes for carrying or owning a firearm, and you really want to get your hands on that gun. You want to pull that trigger even if it's a dry fire. You want to maneuver that weapon and really know what you're looking for, because your body and the ergonomics are all going to matter when it comes to actually shooting. What you like and what somebody else likes might be completely different, and those two weapons might be both really, really great guns, but what you like might be a little bit different for you. So always be self-referral in your buying process and make sure that you're picking something that feels good in your hands, because you're the one shooting it. Myth number three, and this is the biggest one, is a lot of people behind the counter are going to say, hey, this gun is easier to load. This gun is just easier to rack that slide back. So get this one because it's made to be easier. No, don't believe it. Technique always matters. It doesn't matter. There's no such thing as an easier way to load a gun or an easier slide. Everything's going to feel a little bit different. It's like getting into a car. If you've got a Jeep, it's going to have a little bit different of a ride than maybe a Porsche. So it's just preference at this point, but you really don't buy into this one makes this easier or this one's harder to do this. It really does come down to you getting to the range and actually putting in the practice and the rounds through the weapon in order to learn what you actually like. So one of the biggest questions at this point that we always get is, especially if you're new, is, so should I get training or should I purchase a gun first? And this is a huge question. I always suggest that you might want to get training first because you want to learn, what am I even looking for? What is the proper grip and stance for a firearm for self-defense? How do I actually line my sights up? How do I actually pull the trigger? It's not what you think. It's not what you see in the movies. So you really want to even know what you're looking for before you go out and purchase something that is not necessarily the cheapest thing in the world. So I always always recommend actually taking at least an entry-level training before you go out and purchase your first gun, and that way you know what you're looking for. If you learned something from this video, then go ahead and hit subscribe, because in my next video, I am going to train you how to pick out a holster that is safe for concealed carry.